Today we modify a smartphone by replacing its tiny built-in lens with a C-mount, adding support for high-quality interchangeable lenses to get a huge boost in image quality. We'll start by going through the exact steps for the Sharp Aquos R6 modification, and then we'll talk about some challenges you might face with other phone models and how to overcome them. Please be aware of voided warranty consequences and the chance of damaging something beyond repair. But who needs a warranty when you got pliers, right? So let's get started by heating the backplate with a hairdryer and using plastic picks to remove it. Once the backplate is off, remove the glass protection layer over the camera bump by heating and gently pushing it out. Next, take the C-mount and draw a circle on the camera bump's internal part, ensuring the camera hole is in the center. Now I don't have the drill tool to expand a camera hole, so I took it to a local jewelry workshop and asked them to drill it so the C-mount can be screwed in tightly. They were extra careful to avoid damaging the glass part of the backplate, and it cost about $6. The next step is unscrewing the built-in lens using pliers and removing the EMI protective foil. The lens isn't glued on the Aquos R6, so it came out easily, otherwise you would need to apply heat to soften the adhesive. Once the built-in lens is gone, we can glue a drilled backplate and give it a day to dry.
24 hours later.
Now we permanently screw in the C-mount by applying glue to the thread and base for extra grip. Finally, we paint the internal part black to reduce reflections. And just like that, the smartphone is now modded and ready to use high-quality external lenses. Now let's talk about those challenges you might face with other phone models. The first one is the camera bump size and positioning. Only this part can be drilled if the backplate is made of glass. So the first thing to do is to measure your device. The hole diameter over the sensor after camera bump drilling should be at least covering the sensor diagonally. It's ideal if the camera bump is wide enough to fit a C-mount screw, but if not, you can try just gluing the C-mount onto the camera bump or the backplate. Sometimes you might even need to cut in a specific way to fit the camera bump shape. Another way of attaching a C-mount is using a hard plastic or even a metal phone case as a platform for the mount. Overcoming this challenge is up to you, but please share your results in our Discord to help others with the same phone model. Now the distance from the sensor to the end of the mount should be 17.5 to 6 mm, so you might need to make a mount shorter or extend it, depending on your phone model. I need an additional 1 mm spacer on Aquos R6. Here's how you can do a calibration for a different phone model by yourself before gluing the mount completely. Screw in the lens, point it to the landscape and try to set focus on infinity to catch a horizon line into focus. You can use focus picking and zoom for better precision. So if the focus doesn't reach the horizon line, it means the mount is too far from the sensor, so you'll need to make it shorter. But if the focus goes far beyond the horizon, it means the mount is too short and you'll need to add spacers to increase the distance to the lens. The next challenge is removing a lens fixed by a glue that won't come out no matter how much heat or force you apply. Now you might need to cut open the metal enclosure holding the lens module to take it out. Another option is to take out the module from its plastic casing and then remove the entire metal enclosure. But please be extra careful not to damage the VCM actuator, which magnetically moves the lens. Don't separate it from the sensor board, because the camera might stop working with no data coming from its whole sensor. There are some smartphone models that have dual or variable aperture mechanisms. I haven't experimented with this yet, because they add an extra layer of complexity. But if you're up for the challenge, you could be the first one to mod one of these. The final challenge is keeping the other built-in lenses protected. I tried cutting the protective glass from the camera bump to put it back on. But cutting glass can be tricky, so you might want to order a few replacement pieces to increase your chances. So the next video will give you a specific workflow required to get rid of the purple tint issue caused by the built-in lens correction algorithm. We will discuss the best and worst use cases for this setup and learn about software needed to get the best image quality. You will also learn how to select lenses so they give you the field of view equivalent of desired focal length for your specific sensor size. So be sure to subscribe and hit that bell so you don't miss it. And check out my 4K RAW video showing off the quality you can expect from the C-mount lenses. Thank you for watching, until next time, take care and happy shooting!